Ian, we have a Patreon.
We do. Patreon.com/CU podcast. You go. You arrive. You go.
You go.
You go. You arrive. You go. Wow. Here I am. Look at what they're offering. If in exchange for some ducats, some gold dinero, doubloons, crisp lettuce, you can get the
Kruger hands.
Yeah, you can get the full full video. I guess there's audio with the video podcast. You get the full audio video podcast. You get, I do a writing once a week. This week I wrote about my Thanksgiving preparation. We do a hangout once a month. That was fun this week. And you get to vote in a listener topic.
A poll. It's a poll. You vote on a poll.
A poll topic.
In third place, should musicians convert Game Boys into speaking spells? Only 16%, which means I guess they're okay with that. In second place at 20%. Besides Super Mario 35, what retro games could make good Battle Royale games? 20%. And in first place, best games to play remotely with family. Family. Ian, you take it away.
Not in the same room. So I've actually been thinking about this a lot lately. I think we all have. We're not going out and doing much, but we still want to hang out and play games with our friends. We haven't been able to go and do that at conventions. We haven't been able to go to the arcades. I haven't been able to go and play pinball. That's been driving me nuts. It's like the thing I love to do most with friends is go grab a beer and play.
It's never coming back, pinball, because of this year. It's never coming back.
Never coming back. It's done. So, when it was obvious that this was potentially going to be what was chosen, I started to think, and I've come to two conclusions that I would think are very good. Everyone knows that you can play Call of Duty online with people. You can get into a multiplayer RPG with people, and you can keep in touch that way. And lots of people have. A lot of people have a social life that exists around online games, and they know how to keep in touch with those people and chat over headsets. But a couple things. So one game set that I really like that's a bit more casual and doesn't require as much time investment are the Jackbox games. Jackbox games, for those who don't know what they are games released by the same company that invented You Don't Know Jack, which was a trivia game that was released in the late 90s. And the questions were, they would cover current events, but they were funnier, they were hipper, it was a hip, edgy quiz game. But what they did is they've started bundling a bunch of different games together, like a board game box. And these games are great because most of them support anywhere from 4 to 100 players, and they are easy to stream. And if you're watching a Jackbox game stream, you can play along as a player with only a cell phone. You don't need a system. You don't need a special controller. You just need your phone, and what you do is you find the people who are playing the game and you input the room code, and between the screen and your phone you see everything you need to know about the game. So drawing prompts, or it'll ask a question and your possible answers are on your phone, and it's a great way to get together and have fun. It's easy to set up. You can do it over Google Chats, you can do it over PlayStation 4, you can do it in a bunch of different ways, and the nice thing is only one person has to handle the technical stuff. If you're the one streaming it, you're the only person who has any sort of complications that could even possibly arise.
One person has to have purchased it, too.
Yeah, and only one person has to have purchased it. After that, you simply send out a link to everyone in your family or friends group who's going to be playing with you that night anywhere on the planet, and they click that link, and boom, they're looking at the game screen. And since they're played with a cell phone, you have the same controller that everyone else has.
Before Brent kills me when he hears this, check out Use Your Words, because it's a similar party game available on Steam, and I believe it's on Switch now. You can do it's a similar sort of a word game.
Nice.
And it works on the phone as well. You can send out codes. So check out Use Your Words.
And then the other one isn't a video game at all, but I would mention Dungeons and Dragons scales extremely well to the internet. Before COVID hit, Vani and I started a new campaign with a family that shops at her the comic store that she works at. She had never played, but they're a real cool family, and I like playing, and Vonnie knew that, and she knew that I wanted to play, so she was interested. So we set up, and we went over there, I think 4 times early in the year to play in person. And playing D&D in person is great. I mean, there's no real replacement for sitting around the table with everyone, eating snacks, yelling, getting hilarious. But when COVID hit, we were afraid we'd have to stop. Our DM reminded us of and there's other programs, but the one that we use online is called Roll20.net. And it's a central hub where there's basically a screen that everyone can see, a whiteboard.
Roll20.net.
Roll20.net. And so maps and whatnot can be put up there, and it connects people. You can use the in-program voice chat and video chat, or you can use your own. You can use Skype or whatever, but it provides basically a digital tabletop for everyone to gather around and play the game, and it works really well, like without a hiccup. And
how do you load up your game you're playing?
Yeah, basically you just bring in PDFs and stuff to represent your game maps and stuff like that. And there's all sorts of various.
You can bring in like peace.
You can move pieces. Yeah, you can bring in peace symbols. So you've got you get a drawer of tokens that you can use. You get various maps that you can buy or create. Everyone can have their little figurine represented on screen, and you can set the control to certain people. So, I'll only be able to move my character on my screen. Only he'll be able to move the monsters on his screen. So it's interesting. You can set it up so that only the people who only that player can touch their stuff, basically.
Gotcha.
And it's easy, and I forget how easy it is to get into D&D. People, I think, yes, people avoid D&D because they think it's nerdy, but I think a lot of people who would really enjoy it avoid it because they think it's very complicated and it's very difficult. And again, much like what I was talking about with the Jackbox stuff, the beauty of D&D is it's really only complicated for one person, and that's the DM. A couple, 15, 20 minutes with a character sheet, having some things explained to you, getting a rough idea of how a game flows, it's pretty easy. I mean, it's role-playing for a reason. You get in there and you basically just act like the character that you created. And a good DM is going to be able to walk you through your dice rolls and what you need to do to cast your spells and things like that until you get the hang of it. But it all kind of comes second nature. It's all just rolling a die and checking it against numbers and then adding a modifier if you need to. Mm-hmm. And it's a really fun way to... for me to hang out with people and connect with them. I don't do well talking on the phone, just cold picking up, talking on the phone with someone. I hate fucking doing it. Pat knows I avoid Pat. I avoid everyone on the phone. And video chat hasn't made that any easier for me, because when you're doing something like that, it always seems like there's space to fill. Like, you've got to be talking. You've got to keep things moving. D&D is great because it's just like how I like to hang out with people in real life. There is a central focus, and conversation just kind of forms and happens around that. Mm-hmm. So that it's more comfortable when there's something that everyone's focusing on and doing. Like, I like to go out to eat with people. I like to go to the bar and play pinball with people. I don't like to just sit there and be like, let's chat. So it's nice. It's given me a way to use video chat to stay in touch with people that feels comfortable, and we're playing a game at the same time.
Why don't you invite Frank to one? He can resurrect his old character.
Yeah,
from the early 80s. He likes D&D.
Yeah, those would be my option. My two choices.
Oh wow. Okay, that's a lot. How about looking on this website from Oprah magazine? Scrabble Go. It's looks like it's a free app, and looks like you can play with other people.
Fuck Scrabble Go.
Oh, okay. Sorry I brought it up, Ian.
Fuck Scrabble Go.
What's next then? There's a Coin Master available in the App Store. How about stuff that I want to play with an older generation? They're not going to play Marvel Strike Force.
I'm so angry about Scrabble Go.
What did they? My uncle's not going to be playing Fortnite. Why is that on the Oprah magazine list? They are not playing Fortnite. Come on, this is the Oprah audience here. What are you doing here? They put Animal Crossing New Horizons on here. My dad does not operate a Switch, but thank you for putting that on here. A game called Golf Battle is on here. It's a little online mini golf game that you can play. It's on the App Store and Google Play. Up to 6 people can play it. That's cute. Scattergories on here. Yeah, I'm picturing a lot of there's a Go Fish sort of game. I'm picturing a lot of old timey board games and stuff. Free app games that hopefully you can add a friend on and play on that. Or playing chess with I used to play chess with my father a little bit back before I got to high school. I guess I did that. So yeah, I don't have a huge amount of time on my head because I'm more thinking about now my family and even what would my sister be able to handle. My sister probably would be able to figure out an app or something like that. My father might be able to. My mom, who knows at this point. Like, what would you play if you said, hey Dad, let's play something on Thanksgiving? What would you play with your dad?
With my pops?
Yeah.
Well, with my dad, I would probably actually play No Man's Sky or something like that. My dad has recently also gotten really, really wildly into Star Trek Online.
Oh,
holy
okay.
shit, he is playing the fuck out of that. But No Man's Sky is one that my dad and I can jump into and go explore a planet for a while. My mom is not particularly into video games, but the Erbacher side of the family, my mom's side of the family, Scrabble is the family game. If we had a coat of arms, there would be Scrabble tiles on there
what's your go-to solution if the online one sucks?
I don't have one anymore.
There's not a Scrabble
There
alternative?
used to be a Scrabble app for your phone that was fine. It was bare bones. Actually playing with someone you wanted to play was way more of a pain in the ass than it should have been. You needed Facebook integration. But it was Scrabble, and it worked. They ended that app, and they released Scrabble Go, which is made by the same people who make the fucking Yahtzee app on the phone, which I have talked about before, which is easily just one of the biggest trash heaps my eyes has
When
ever
you say
laid
they
upon.
ended it, was it you couldn't even connect to the server?
You can't connect. Yeah, you can't. They ended it. So Scrabble Go, instead of having a clean interface that it's just a game of Scrabble, it's fucking yelling at you from the moment you sign on. Unlock these tiles. Unlock these tiles. Get this. 40 diamonds for $2.99, whatever the fuck that is.
Unlock the letter G? Like, what do you mean? What tiles?
Cosmetic, tile upgrades.
Oh, God.
And then my least favorite thing, and this is something that I've seen in a lot of current board games, is you can pay to cheat in your game.
Okay.
You can pay a certain number of diamonds or whatever it is, and they'll suggest words for you. And that would be fine if you're just playing against the computer, but you're playing against other people, and there's no way to know if they're using the cheats or not. So you don't know if it's a really close game and you've found a great match, or if you're just playing with someone who keeps hitting, use the best word possible.
That sounds like a nightmare. It'd be like in chess if you're playing someone and they were getting suggested moves and you had no idea.
It sucks. And they did the same thing to Yahtzee, and it's a wildly... And that's even fucking stupider.
How does it work with Yahtzee?
You can straight up buy extra rolls instead of using just 3 rolls. You can straight up buy an extra roll.
That destroys the difference of getting a Yahtzee.
Yes. They're fucking miserable, dude. They are the worst.
Man.
It makes me so
There's
fucking
gotta be
mad.
a free alternative in a browser somewhere.
The problem is this. I love
Scrabble
so
browser game.
there's Words with Friends, and there are Scrabble games, but they don't use the same
same rule set?
They don't use the same bonus layout.
Oh, really? That's how they get around the copyright?
Yes. And
Scrabble Online. Let's see. What is this?
It's fine, but I kind of take Scrabble weirdly seriously.
I take chess seriously. It's your thing.
I have a lot of fun with it, so I don't want to play. What I don't want to do is start playing on a board that screws up. In my mind, I know where all the fucking bonus tiles are on Scrabble. When I'm playing on a Scrabble board, I know how I want to build myself out so I can reach those tiles. That's different on the alternate versions.
I got mine because I've been doing it. Playing poker online over Zoom with PokerStars.net, free software. You can buy play chips, or you get a free amount when you sign up and every so often, and you can play tournament games or cash games. You set up a home game, you invite people to them. It's free. The way the site makes money, Ian, is that there's a rake, meaning they take a part of each winnings because you're using play money. But it's the best interface I've seen. That's free, and it's real poker. It's not the awful Clubhouse games, which is not poker on that, which I was not expecting to be real poker. But it was even worse. And no, you go on Zoom and you same thing. You're chatting while you're playing poker, and then Pat may be playing for money, maybe, but it's very entertaining and it's very fun. I'm sure people that play poker online probably use PokerStars. I think it's PokerStars.com for the one that where you actually use money, and .net's the free play version there. So yeah. So this Thanksgiving, everyone out there, have a safe one. Social distance between the turkey and the yams and the corn. And the mashed potatoes, if you do that instead of the yams. Frank's doing a sweet potato pie this year. Now we're going off topic. That's going to end that topic, I think, right there, because I'm getting hungry.
We're good.